Well, this might be quite the different 21st Tenkaichi Budokai than we know of. Hey guys, DB right here, and today I am here continuing with What If Barne was born instead of Goku? Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, Barne is the official mascot of this YouTube channel, and in other what ifs where she has appeared on this channel, she is the third Saiyan child of Gine and Bardock. But this time we decided to switch Goku and Barne's births around and give her a what if all to herself. In What If Barne was born instead of Goku, leading to her basically being sent to Earth like Goku was originally, and seeing how she would affect the overall story of Dragon Ball. And well, where we last left off, we had just finished wrapping up the Pilaf saga, where Barne willingly transformed into a great ape in order to save Bulma, Yamcha, and the others from Pilaf's, I guess you could call it, roasting room. You know, his little prison with the glass, and when it's hot the next day you get roasted in it. Yeah, that thing. And well, Barne's Great Ape form, needless to say, as you can tell by the picture, was very different to Goku's, having green fur. Being a Berserker Great Ape form, Barne is a Berserker Saiyan, just like she is in every other what if we used her in so far. I wasn't going to change that just because she was born ahead this time. And so, with the Pilaf saga now under wraps, and on her way to take up Master Roshi's offer to train her, much like how he offered it to Goku in the original, she decided to pop into her favourite ice cream shop up at Orange Star City, which is the closest city to Mount Palzu, because Grandpa Gohan survived to the present timeline in this story. Basically, Barne's a lot more better educated than what Goku was, and since she learned how to fly, she was already flying, even from before she was sent away. She pretty much never hit her heads, so she remembers she's a Saiyan, vaguely remembers her mother and father, very vaguely, and knows that her planet was in danger for some reason and that she had to be sent off. That's pretty much all Barne knows about that situation. But anyway, continuing with this story, now, after rescuing a certain girl who was being mugged by a couple of muggers, this would be Ranfan, Barne and Ranfan have already sort of formed a bit of a friendship over their mutual interest in the martial arts, and her mentioning that she was going to be trained by Master Roshi himself, Ranfan decided to tag along. Perhaps she might be able to get training with the legendary master as well. After all, every respectable martial artist knows who Master Roshi is, and would kill for the chance to train. Ranfan, I believe, would be no exception to this. And so we've got Ranfan and Barne together, arriving on Roshi's Island to that nice, beautiful Kame house. And, well, the good thing is, in this timeline, Roshi's not going to be sending his pupils out to find him a good-looking girl, because Barne's already brought Ranfan with him. And, well, when Krillin turns up and offers him some dirty magazines, and Barney just going, "Oh yes, I forgot, you're a bit of a creep, aren't you, old man? I wish you wouldn't call me that in front of other people, but very well, I will take all three of you on as my students." And Roshi was thinking of having, like, doing something sleazy involving Ranfan, but then he remembers the time he pulled that with Bulma during the Pilaf arc, and Barne full-on challenged him to a fight. Yes, Roshi's gonna have to behave himself, and now that he's officially accepted Ranfan as a student, he really needs to keep himself under control. Roshi, she is a student first. And well, that is exactly the mentality Roshi's going to have. So in a way, this is training for him too. And so, with that, they move off to the island and begin training. Now you're probably wondering, where is Launch in all this? Well, don't worry, I assure you, she is definitely going to be around and used at some point in the story, just not yet. There was no need really to send Krillin to get Launch when Roshi already has Ranfan. But don't worry, I got a little surprise for you guys involving Launch. So anyways, just like in the original, Master Roshi pulls them through the exact same work routine that he gives Goku and Krillin in the original. And Krillin and Ranfan are very confused by this. How is this supposed to strengthen us and able to teach us and get us prepared for the World Martial Arts Tournament? And Ranfan just pipes up and says, "Trust me, this will help you guys more than you realize. After all, remember, Barne spent all this time training with Grandpa Gohan, and Grandpa Gohan had her do similar things, just not quite to the extreme extent that Master Roshi's putting them through. So, Barne is pretty fit to handle this sort of routine. She's still huffing and puffing, it's still a challenge, don't get me wrong, but she is definitely doing significantly better than Krillin and Ranfan. Ranfan, who's basically so far the worst at this. Huffing and puffing and carrying on. Krillin trying to cheat like he normally does, but in time, once they upgrade to the shells and everything, their conditioning does begin to improve, much like it does for them in the original story. And well, when they finally remove their shells and we get close to the time for the Tenkaichi Budokai, everyone is surprised with the results. Even Barne didn't think she'd get this much further ahead with this training, because she had been exposed to this type of training before and was, in a way, pretty well used to it. So, pretty much with that, the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai now begins, and basically you got the, needless to say, the 3 students of Roshi, and of course Jackie Chun, the disguised Roshi, get through to the finals no problem, along with Yamcha, and yeah, so really, as far as the matches go, the lineup is exactly the same. The difference is that Ranfan's been training with the Turtle Hermit, along with Barne and Krillin, and of course we got Barne instead of Goku, who would obviously be facing Giran. So, with your first match, it's Krillin versus Bacterian, and that ends like it does in the original, with germ warfare and Krillin ultimately getting the win over his stinky opponent. Woo! Woo, definitely need to hose down that ring after that was done, jeez. And of course, then we got Yamcha, who loses very swiftly to Jackie Chun, the disguised Master Roshi. Now, we get the battle between Ranfan and Nam. Now, this is where things sort of differ a little bit from the original. The results, ultimately the same. Nam still actually manages to beat Ranfan, but the fight is a lot more closer than the original, with Ranfan not resorting to any of her dirty tricks like in the original. She doesn't need it. She received training from Master Roshi. She doesn't need to rely on that kind of sleazy, dirty fighting anymore. No. So Nam and her have an all-out fight. But do be right, how would Ranfan lose to Nam with Ranfan receiving Turtle Hermit training? Now remember, Nam is a pretty skilled fighter in his own right. He's actually very close to being someone being on the sort of level that one would get training with Roshi or the Crane Hermit. He's not that far behind from going beyond the boundaries of normal men. So, since Ranfan, who is the weakest out of the 3 Turtle Hermit students, Nam was still able to win. However, Nam had to resort to his most deadly attack in order to beat her, and that is, of course, the aerial attack. But ultimately, she is beaten. Now, Barne is not liking this one little bit, because that is quite a nasty attack, and she feels that it was unnecessary force. Because by the end of the battle, Ranfan was clearly on the losing end anyway, and, you know, she was seriously thinking, you know, she's got to fight him after she gets through Gine. She's thinking she'll definitely avenge that loss for Ranfan. After all, Ranfan's her best friend in this timeline. And, yeah. Now, needless to say, when Barne versus Gine, it's over in one hit. Barne is not gullible like Goku was. She's not going to fall for the, hey, I've got something in my hand, and get whacked. No, she just, rushes in, whacks Gine really hard in the gut, and he is down and out for the 10 count. Just like that. It was probably the fastest match in the tournament's history. Especially for the quarterfinals. So then, we get the semi-final match, which, you get Krillin ultimately losing to Jackie Chun, just like he does in the original, and then you get Barne versus Nam. And it is quite a brutal fight. Brutal on the side of Barne, anyway. She, ferociously attacks Nam, and, it's definitely a lot more one-sided. Remember, Barne is stronger than what Goku was in this point in time. And after witnessing him hurt her friend, yeah, you don't hurt one of Barne's friends and expect to basically get away with it. So unfortunately, sorry Nam fans, Nam is taking a bit of a brutal beating. I know what you're thinking, how could Barne be so ruthless and cruel? Well, remember, she's a Saiyan, and she does know very well what she is. She has a lot of those old instincts. She's usually kind-hearted, nice, and Barne, but she definitely has a Bardock mean streak in her. And, it's not like Barne knows why Nam is in the tournament fighting. I'm sure she'd have a bit more sympathy for him if she knew that he was just trying to win the tournament so he can get water for his village. But, you know, she didn't know that. Jackie Chan didn't think, take it easy on him. Nah. So, ultimately, Nam loses, and pretty brutally, I might add. But he's okay. He's still able to get up and walk out, and ultimately shakes her hand, which she accepts. And, well, after that was done, she's greeted by Ranfan, who has managed to finally wake up from the from her match. And Barney's like, I avenged your loss. You didn't need to do that. I'm fine, see? But thank you anyway. And so, basically with that, Barne apologizes to Nam for being so rough with him. And it's like, he's disappointed that he's out of the tournament, but he's okay. He understands why. And, well, after that, Roshi helps Nam, much like he does with the original, as we get to the finals of the tournament, with Barne going up against Jackie Chun. Now, needless to say, this battle is epic. It's more epic than Jackie Chun's battle with Goku. Just, yes, like I keep mentioning, Barne is stronger than her brother in this timeline. And it's, basically, if you want to get a rough idea on what this battle sort of looks like, you remember Jackie Chun's match with Tien in the next tournament? It's like that. That's how brutal it is, and how hard Roshi has to fight in order just to keep Barne at bay. However, Barne is fully aware that there's going to be a full moon tonight, so once the sun starts going down, she's getting really nervous. She's going to have to end this quick, or she might even have to quit, because she doesn't want to risk turning into a great ape and massacring a bunch of people, especially since she's a berserker form of the great ape. So, she keeps fighting, trying to get away to get Jackie Chun out of the ring, but Jackie Chun's able to avoid ring out every time, thanks to his experience as martial arts. I mean, this is Master Roshi after all. And basically, Roshi then finally resorts to the lightning surprise attack, and after getting hit by this, Barne doesn't look up at the full moon like Goku does. She does actually say the words that she gives up, and Jackie Chun is awarded the championship. And basically, before they could get a word with Barne, you know, the vice champion interviews, she's basically run off to quickly put on her shades that were given to her by Grandpa Gohan, so she could look at the moon and, you know, not transform. It was a countermeasure, and it works, luckily. However, just as Jackie Chun is about to receive his cash prize, this is where Launch suddenly appears out of the crowd. "Alright, this is a hold-up! You, old man, hand over the check for that money, or I will blast everyone here." You know, her doing the whole robbery thing. And you know, this is 500,000 zenny we're talking about. Definitely a bigger payday than her robbing trains. However, this is pretty much left short as Barne basically just steps in and kicks the gun out of Launch's hand and gives her a gut punch, knocking her out. And, you know, security's able to detain her and arrest her and ultimately throw her in jail. And well, basically from there, we get the same victory meal and celebration as last time. Barne doing what Goku does, spending all of Roshi's prize money, and ultimately decides she wants to go hunting Dragon Balls again now that the year is up and the Dragon Balls are working again. Now, she is going to regain Grandpa's 4-star ball, after all, belongs to him, but also she actually wants to try a wish of her own. She wants to see if she can resurrect her people. But remember, Barne remembers who she is, and she knew the planet was doomed for some reason. So she wants to at least try bring back her people and the planet. Now, I know she can't do that because of the rules of the Dragon Balls. Can't bring back multiple people who have been dead for more than a year, even under the same circumstances. That's the rule, too much on the dragon. But that doesn't mean that Barne couldn't make some other wish, perhaps to bring her mother back. After all, she has quite a few fond memories of Gine. However, will that actually work out that way as she's planning? Well, we'll find out as we get into the Red Ribbon Saga next time. This is where we're going to be leaving things. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy the story? You know, how are things going to go with the Red Ribbon Army? And, you know, and, should Ranfan actually go with, Barne on this adventure? Anyway, leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, I'll see you guys again next time. And also, let me know if you actually like this editing style, how I got the, images appearing on the corner here. Because, yeah, I think this actually helps illustrate the story a little bit better, so you can better picture in your heads as I'm talking, rather than just having the thumbnail and a little box of me talking. Anyways, I will see you guys next time for the next installment. Well, the next video anyhow. Alright, catch you later.